I'm not even going to attempt to fit all of these books in for the thumbnail of this video because that might actually break my back. Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be my haul for the month of April. Now, every month I go into this and I say I'm not going to buy that many books. And I don't know what happened. It's the same intro every single month, but let's not try and make excuses. I have a book buying problem. Let's just talk about what books I acquired during the month of April, shall we? And actually I do have an explanation for some of this. Some of the books I get from subscription boxes came a little bit late, so some of them, like, I've got some at the beginning of the month and some at the end of the month, and some of them should have been in last month, maybe. That might have spread it out a little bit more, but yeah, I'm just trying to come up with excuses when there are no excuses. The first book I got during the month of April was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is my second copy. This is the Illumicrate copy, so it is signed by Ali Hazelwood herself. It has also got some beautiful foiling underneath, and I'm just really happy to have this because I very much enjoyed this book. I was made to read this by Becca Fowle, like most of us were, and I ended up really enjoying it. It was a 5-star read, and I'm happy that I have a pretty hardcover version of it now. I cannot wait for her next book to come out, and I'm hoping that Illumicrate do a matching copy because I would very much like to have that on my shelves. The next book that I got is one that I hauled at the end of last month as well, because I got the regular version of it at the end of last month, and then this month I got the Fairy Lou adult subscription box edition. It is the first book in their adult subscription box, and it is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I read this one last month. I gave it 5 stars. I really liked this, so I'm actually quite happy to have 2 copies because now I've got like a dark one and a light one because the colour is sort of reversed for the regular edition to the Fairy Lou edition. I am a little bit annoyed that I didn't end up getting the Illumicrate version because that one is beautiful, but we'll not talk about it. This version, like I said, different colour, so it's normally black and this one is this sort of creamy colour. We've then got these stenciled edges, some beautiful end paper artwork with all 6 of the main characters in there, and I believe this is a digitally signed copy rather than an actual signed copy. I was tempted to go to the book signing events that Olivia Blake was doing, but I think the one I was going to go to was in Manchester, and it was like in the evening. It would have been a bit difficult for me to get home, so I didn't go. I'm slightly regretting it now, but yeah, I'm very happy that I have got this special edition because I really enjoyed this book. Next up, we have a book that you're actually going to see twice in this because, again, 2 copies. Why have I got 2 copies of all of the books? This one is actually one that I pre-ordered, and then it ended up coming as an extra book in a subscription box that I'll get to later. So this is just a standard edition. It is An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X. Harpan. I read her first book when it came out a few years ago, and The Astonishing Colour of After, and I really loved that book. So this one was on my radar as one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I've had it pre-ordered for months now, and then, like I said, it came in a book subscription box, so I've ended up with 2 copies. Hoping I like this one as much as An Astonishing Colour of After. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling with some Chinese mythology thrown in there as well. I'm not going to sit and read you the full synopsis, but I'm really excited. If her last one is anything to go by, it was one of those fabulism type stories where everything is quite normal, but then there's one magical aspect in it, and I just really loved how she told that story. Her other book was about bereavement and grief, and it was really beautifully told, and I'm hoping that this one is equally as beautiful because, I mean, the cover is, look at it, it's stunning in these lights, and this isn't even my prettiest copy of this. Next up, I went into Waterstones. I had some vouchers to spend and I bought a few things. So the first one is A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft. I do not know the synopsis of this. As is usual with these videos, I don't know too much about these books going into them, but I keep seeing it. I like the cover, it's very pretty. Again, look at the sort of reflection of that foil. And basically Meg from 12 Books a Day was reading this, and I kept asking her, are you liking it? Do we think I'll like it? She did like it. She does think that I'll enjoy it, so I decided to buy it. It says on the back it's an intoxicating love story set against a mythical hunt. Okay, I literally have no idea, but it looks gorgeous and I'm excited. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I do like it. The other book that I got on that shopping trip I do know a little bit more about, and I was planning on getting it because it's by an author I've already read from. It is The No Show by Beth O'Leary. She's written The Flatshare, The Switch and The Road Trip. I've loved all three of those, so of course I was going to get this one. It says on here it's about 3 women, 3 dates, 1 missing man. So basically it's 3 women who are all dating somebody, and this somebody is the same person, and one day they're all waiting for him to turn up for various different dates and he doesn't show up, and it's about what kind of happens from there. I'm really excited for this one because, like I said, I really love her writing, and yeah, just not much else to say. It is a signed copy again because they had some signed copies in Waterstones when I went in, which is why I picked it up, because I suddenly remembered it had come out and went, ooh, signed copy, I'll have that one, thank you. Didn't have to pay for it, I had some vouchers, it was great. Just realised I actually missed a book to talk about because it was in my TBR pile. That one is With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I had this one pre-ordered. I've read everything Carrie Hope Fletcher has written. This is her newest release. It is about a girl who, when she kisses someone, she can see how they're going to die, and basically because of this she has kind of sworn off relationships for many years, and then one day she ends up meeting somebody that she does want to kiss, and it's what happens from there. Like I said, I've read all of Carrie's other books and I really enjoyed them all, and I'm happy to have this one because she now has a fancy Waterstone special edition as well with some stenciled edges. And again, I got a signed copy because of course I did. I've had this one pre-ordered for over a year now, I think, because the publication got delayed. I think it was supposed to come out like this time last year, so happy to finally have my hands on it. Next up we have books from the FairyLoot April box. The main book in that box was Blood Scion by Deborah Fillet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I'm very sorry, I forgot to look up the pronunciation of the authors for this video. But yeah, I've not heard too much about this one. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I don't want to know too much. I'll just read like the sort of top blurb bit. It says, I'm a descendant of Shango, the god of heat and fire. I'm a living inferno. I'm a dead girl walking. Sounds intriguing. Again, a signed copy, and it has got some under dust jacket artwork, and then also that's a naked hardcover. I'm quite bad at actually reading the books from subscription boxes, particularly the ones from FairyLoot. I don't know why, but we'll see. Hopefully I will actually read this one. I'm gonna wait and see if I hear anything about it and see what people are thinking about it. And then the other one that I got in the FairyLoot, because they did have an extra book, was An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Pan. So this is my second copy. As I said, it is a different colour scheme, so the original one is purple, and then we've got this sort of teal coloured. It does have the sprayed edge as well, and it has a digital signature in there as well. So yeah, ended up with 2 copies. Really hope I like this book. Next up, I went on a trip to London and I stopped at one of my favourite bookshops, which is Gaze the Word. It is an LGBTQ plus bookshop, and I just picked up a couple of things that I have had on my radar for a while and thought, while I saw them in a bookshop, I will get them. They tend to have a lot of US copies in there, so it's a good place to get the ones that maybe aren't published in the UK and I'd have to normally order online. I tend to pick them up when I'm in there. The first one being The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane. So this one, again, I have absolutely no idea what it's about. I just know it's like a rom-com style one. By the sounds of it, it's about this guy who goes on to like a bachelor type competition, but isn't actually interested in the women that he's supposed to be competing for because he has better chemistry with one of the scriptwriters on the programme. And yeah, this one sounds like the sort of thing that I'm in the mood to read this month, to be honest, which is why it is on my tentative TBR for the month of May, because I really just want to read some romance at the minute. So happy to have this one. I also got Can't Take This Away by Stephen Salvatore. I've had my eye on this one for a while. I remember seeing when the cover first got announced, some authors that I follow had tweeted about it and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then have just never got my hands on it, and now I finally do. So this one I believe is about a non-binary teenager who is a singer. They have an obsession with Mariah Carey as far as I know. Their name is actually Carey and I believe they're named after Mariah Carey. But the story of this is that they want to audition for the lead role of Elphaba in their school's production of Wicked, and it is about kind of whether or not that can be accepted by the school. And for someone who loves theatre, this sounds like a great book for me. So yeah, I will hopefully be reading this one soon as well. I think this one's more likely to end up on my June TBR, but yeah, I'm very, very excited to read it. Like I said, had my eye on it for a while now. Fingers crossed I enjoy it. So next up is another second copy, because I got the TV show tie-in edition of Heartstopper, because look how cute this is. So basically it is the first volume of Heartstopper, but they did a whole photo shoot with Joe Locke and Kit Connor recreating the actual Heartstopper graphic novel cover, and like even on the back as well, and on the little Charlie on the spine. It's all so cute. I love, like, normally tie-in editions are just very like basic, this is a picture from the show and shove it on there, but they did a full photo shoot to recreate it exactly. Like there's pictures of them holding the original cover up next to them to recreate it, and I love it. And also this does have some stuff from the script in the back of here as well, so happy I have this, especially now because Alice Oseman has just been announced for Yalc, so I can take this and get her to sign it, which is very exciting. We then have got City of Dragons by Robin Hobb. This is the third book in the Ringmarl Chronicles. I've just finished reading the first. I'll be reading the second in May, so I thought it was good to have the third one. I also just needed to add to a pre-order so that I could get free shipping, and I was like, well, I'm gonna need this anyway, so I might as well buy it now. And yeah, not much else to say without spoiling lots of things in the Realm of the Elderlings, but I now only have 4 Robin Hobb books left to buy in this series, and then I'll be finished buying all 16 of them, which is not something that I actually expected to have done this quickly, but I am devouring the series, as we all know. We then have got a pre-order, and that is Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. This is a prequel to We Were Liars, which I read years ago now when it first came out, and I really enjoyed, and I'm intrigued to see what this one actually is, to be honest. I've tried not to read too much about it because We Were Liars works really well if you don't know too much going into it. All I know is it's about the Sinclair family, which is the family that We Were Liars is based around, and I don't know if it's about what actually happened that gets revealed in We Were Liars or if it's about before that time. I'm just intrigued. I'm going into it knowing relatively nothing, and I'm just gonna see what happens. Although I have just opened the synopsis and it says 27 years before, so it is like the parents or the grandparents rather than the younger ones that are in We Were Liars. Okay, I promise we are getting towards the end now. But the next 3 that I have are all sequels, continuations of series that I started reading in April. These were all actually gifted to me by the lovely Lisa from Lisa Does Life. I'll link her channel down below. Basically, I was unhauling a load of books. I sent them in her direction. She ended up buying some things from my wish list, and she picked whatever she wanted to pick, and she ended up getting, like I said, all of the sequels to ones that I read in April, which is very helpful because now I can continue these series. So the first one being The Dream Thieves, which is the second book in the Raven cycle. We then have got Wondersmith, which is the second book in the Nevermore series. And then we've got The Magnificent Nine, which is the second Firefly novelisation, because I started reading these last month as well. So yeah, all 3 of those ones came from Lisa. Thank you so much. Next up, we have another second copy, because everything I'm buying this month seems to be second copies of things. But basically, I bought something in the Fairy Trove sale that Fairy Loot did last month, I think it was, and I really love this book, and I missed out on subscribing to Fairy Loot in time to get it in the box, and I didn't seek it out before because, to be honest, I was a little bit unsure about the colour scheme. It is prettier in person, though, I will say that, and I'm glad that I do have it because the naked hardcover is beautiful. It's Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, so I now have the pink Fairy Loot edition. It is the exact same cover as the regular one, but the regular one's blue, but it does also have the sprayed edges. This is the bit I was a little bit unsure about, but it's not quite as gaudy in person as it looks on camera, I feel. And all the extra stuff is stunning. So we've got the end paper artwork, which is all beautiful. We've got the Rosie Fawns under dust jacket artwork, which is also absolutely stunning. And then we have got the naked hardcover, which is A Ballad of the Archer and the Fox, and even says it on the spine as well, and I really love this. And I know you've all seen this before because obviously everyone got this last year, but I finally have it and I'm really happy about it. Okay, 2 more left. 2 more, we are getting there. Adding this clip in after I filmed it, I'm about to talk about the Fairy Loot adult book and the Illumicrate book that have just shipped in the last week. So if you haven't got yours yet, you might want to turn off unless you don't care about spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers, feel free to watch. The next one is the May adult Fairy Loot, which is why I said that there's somewhere I got 2 in a month and probably shouldn't have. It was just that one was delayed. So this one is City of Dusk by Tara Sim. I don't know anything about this book. I haven't read the synopsis at all. I know the cover change for this is again that the colours have been reversed, so I believe again the cover is like a black or a grey colour. It says on the back, for each realm there is a god, and for each god there is an heir. That is about all I know about it. It's got a block black sprayed edge. I do feel like with this being the beginning of their adult subscription box, I'd expected it to be a little bit fancier with the first 2, and it is a bit of a letdown, I'm not gonna lie. Like we've got the foiling on the naked hardcover, but then there is nothing on here, and then the end papers are fairly normal. Like normally they commission some sort of artwork for the YA stuff. I mean, you've just seen one of the YA editions, and then this just feels like a little bit boring in comparison. But I mean, hopefully I like the book, because it wasn't on my radar at all, and then I'm a bit underwhelmed with the actual book, with the design. Fingers crossed I like the book. And then speaking of being a little bit underwhelmed with the design, we have got the Illumicrate book that came, this literally arrived yesterday, the last day of the month, and it is Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. I am excited about this one. It's a heist book, but it's also about how sort of the Western world has taken a lot from other places, or the fact that in museums everywhere there are all of these stolen artifacts, and it's about somebody trying to steal some of those back. And I'm actually really intrigued by this book. I'm not overly fussed by this edition of it. Basically, the regular edition is this cover but without this hand on it. I don't quite know why the hand's there, and I don't think it really fits with the rest of it. I kind of would have preferred them just to keep the cover as is and then do some fancy stuff elsewhere, because we've just got the block sprayed edge again, which is a nicer yellow in person than it is on this camera. It's too bright on this camera. But we've then got plain end papers. The artwork underneath the dust jacket is actually really nice. I do really love that. It looks a very similar style to some of the artwork that's inside the Atlas 6. Like there is some artwork throughout that book and it looks a similar style. I don't know if it is the same artist or not. But then you've got the foiling on the jacket, which is placed a bit strange. There's like this big gap here where there's nothing there, and it is a signed copy. But yeah, it just feels a little bit like anticlimactic for what a lot of their other books are. I'm really hoping that with both of these that next month is going to be really good, because basically the Illumicrate box and the Fairy Loot adult box are, I believe, going to have the same book next month, which is a book I'm really excited about. And I really hope that they've just gone all out for that, and that's why these ones aren't as good, because they're sort of saving the money for that, because that is a pretty big name release as well. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some really stunning editions of it, especially because I'm going to have two. So we'll see. If the Fairy Loot one doesn't step up its game, then I'm probably going to cancel that, because it was something that I got like just to try it out and see how it goes. And if it's not getting any better, I'm probably going to end up cancelling it. But we will see. Right, that was a slightly down note to end this on. But yeah, that was a lot of books that I got. I'm not going to try and lift them up, because I've got them in two piles at the minute, and it's a lot of books. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Let me know what your prettiest book was that you got during the month of April, and I will see you guys next time with a new video. Bye.